You have idea regarding this mock panel intro. What is this, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
Mm.
So now I'll share that your resume, like your
Yeah,
cover letter, okay, and we'll discuss
yes,
on that.
yes, yes.
So this is your cover letter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So Venkatesh,
okay.
can you give me the overview of your profile? So what is the experience? Where did you work? Like,
Yes,
and
yes,
on
yes,
which projects you have worked?
yes. I'm Venkatesh. I'm a 12 years experienced professional in retail management with 4 years, which includes 4 years of experience of BA, BA in handling multiple projects when it comes to our store operations and business operations. I have worked for 3 years in Chroma from 2021 March till 2024 June. And before that, I have worked for 8.5 years from Reliance Digital Retail Limited, which is a part of Reliance Retail Limited from July 2012 till Jan 2021. During these periods, I have been a part of. I have been a part of. I have been part of several teams, playing the roles of uh, junior business analyst and a business analyst in terms of requirement gathering, requirement elicitation, as well as change management and feedback from the UAT, suggestions to the development team, etc., etc. Uh, 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 Out of the several projects, I have got two significant projects which I can mention. One of them is Roma application, which has been a part of Chroma experience, Chroma tenure, whereas another one is billing at door deliveries. Door delivery order management system, which was which was developed at Reliance Digital. Coming to my two projects in Roma application, it's about integrating store operations with the website features, which has empowered the store team to help the customers to browse and select products of various types, though they are not available in store physically. Whereas in Reliance Digital, my project is about billing online and delivering from store, wherein customer from the nearest place would be uh, billing the product, and that order is reflected to the nearest store from where the delivery is fulfilled. This system requires customer authentication, third party authentication, as well as store confirmation of inventory. So this was a rather simple project which was handled in waterfall, whereas the later project Roma in Chroma has been handled through agile methodologies. Hello.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So can you give me the overview of what type of illustration techniques do you have used for that agile project?
Yeah. When it comes to agile project, let me tell you the as is situation before agile project. Uh, so before Roma, what happens is the store and the website are working independent from each other, wherein the website is purely e-com business, which is not related to the store, and the store operations are completely related to the inventory that is present on that store, and also on the footfalls coming to the store. Now we have got an idea of integrating both the website and store, so that which helps us which helps us to counter a complaint saying that there are no stocks, there is no variety, the website price is better than store price, etc. So for that we have assessed the situation. This assessment, through this assessment, we have done a lot of requirement gathering and also the various requirement analysis, and also done communicated those requirements to various what do you say, to our team, store team, operations team, financial team, and inventory team. So during this process, we have used several elicitation techniques. The first elicitation technique we have done is document analysis. In this, we have already have a well placed system which is working for the past few years in both website and store. So using those current information, current data, we have seen what are the requirements that can be that are required to integrate both of them. So the first so we have done document analysis. Later on, after doing document analysis, we have also imparted excuse me, yeah, we have also imparted focus groups, wherein we have selected two team members from each department, like financial department, inventory department, sales department, and management department. And uh, we have jotted down the current issues and what would be the possible what would be the possible solutions to those issues. After all these gatherings, then we have implemented requirement prioritization techniques like Moscow technique. In Moscow technique, we have handled must have, should have, could have, and which we wouldn't have. And by that, we have finally created and formulated user stories. These user stories we have communicated through dashboards and various forms of process notes. And upon these user stories, again, we have conducted intensive brainstorming sessions with focus groups only, wherein this is the situation, this is how we are going to be, how is it going to affect the operations. So from that, we have further, refined our requirements, and finally, we have created a product backlog consists of most important requirements. So this is how we have implemented various illustration techniques.
Hmm. Okay. Did you have idea regarding that re-engineer, like system re-engineering and prototypings, right?
Um, after system reengineering, we did not do. We did done a prototyping, but our prototyping is mostly uh, both basic form of prototyping. Uh, just a minute. Uh, Excuse me. So we have done a low, we have used several low fidelity prototype models in order to make people understand how the process flow would be, how it was now and how it is going to be that. For that, we have used various low fidelity prototype models in order to make people understand how the process flow would be.
Yeah. Hello, Venkatesh.
Neither development or designing team. Therefore, our operation is to make both our development team as well as our operations teams what's going on. So that's our responsibility. Therefore, we have used low fidelity prototype, and we haven't used systems re-engineering.
Mhm. Okay. So what type of enterprise analysis do you have go through the project, agile project like SWOT, fragility? So much of analysis is there, na?
Yes.
Yeah. What did you go through them?
First, the main, stem of the main root of any idea to create a project is the need of it. So here we have identified what are the business needs. So what kind of businesses we have identified? We have observed that the website is having website clicks are having more conversion rate compared to the footfalls. How is it happening? Because the website is providing various products, and the catalog is really huge. So we want that feature to be imparted in the store. So that would help us in increasing our conversion as well as increasing our customer satisfaction. So for that, we have seen what kind of, what are we going to achieve if we want to integrate a website as well as a website into the store operations. So we have identified those business needs. That is the first step. The second step is whether we are whether our business is compatible for such a transformation is what we have discussed. So what is required for integrating and how to operate this website? So for anyone to operate a website, a mobile phone, a tablet or a laptop or a desktop is enough. However, for the sales associate to move around freely, we have able to impart this operation through tablets. So first we have provided the infrastructure through tablet. Then then we have observed that our team also need to be trained on the same thing. So for that we have also create a requirement wherein we have to create a training mode, which is which is completely synonymous to the actual billing mode, but not it doesn't do any billing operation. It will only help us in doing training. So such likewise we have generated the capabilities, we have assessed the capabilities of a business, and from that we have gathered further requirements to improve the current infrastructure as well as the compatible issues. Then we have come up with a business statement to the management for getting go ahead and approvals. Our business case is this. uh, uh, this operation will help us to integrate the powerful features of website in in selecting in selecting and browsing a variety of products which are also not available in store. But this feature will help the store to empower the associate to provide whatever product the customer is requiring. This also enables us to do proper inventory management, wherein both the website distribution center and the store distribution center will be integrated, and the stocks will be open for all the stores. Uh, this is our business case. Then we have done the feasibility analysis. How much current system is able to take this? How integration process is done? Whether the integration process can is feasible currently, whether it is viable as per the budget, and
Hmm. Okay. I think throughout that project,
uh,
many issues you had faced, right?
yes,
Uh,
yes,
so throughout the issues, so what type of strategies did you have followed to overcome that issues, whatever it may be? So to decrease that issues time and to don't repeating of that issues once again in that project during that. So what type of strategies did you have followed and analysis planning? So what type of analysis planning did you have conducted likewise throughout the uh, team? So can you explain about them?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Uh, First thing is we want to clearly define who are the stakeholders and what are their roles and responsibilities in the uh, this project. So we have identified stakeholders such as the business head being the product owner, uh, excuse me, the business operations head being the being the product owner, and the regional operations head becoming the project manager, whereas a local store manager is becoming a business analyst for their respective stores, for the respective zones. And we have our own development team, which is provided by the which has been provided by our IT segment, IT department from our company. And for So this is how we have actually gathered the stakeholders. For this, and we want to prioritize the importance of the stakeholders using RACI matrix. And we have seen who is responsible, who is accountable, who is to be consulted, and who is to be informed. So we have observed that the development team as well as the product owner are responsible for the project, whereas the project operations team and operations head and business analyst like us are accountable for that, because we are there to elicitate and we are there to identify the requirements gap, and we have there to fill up those requirement gaps. Therefore, we are to be held accountable. The IT department and the financial department and military department were selected as consulted, and the overall business owner, who is the CEO, is to be informed. This is how we have selected the RACI matrix. This has helped us in clearing. This has helped us in clearing various hurdles in terms of understanding the roles and responsibilities of each and every team member. After that, there were several communication gaps in understanding how the process is to be done, gaps in communicating one form of business process from one end, from one department to another department. For that, we have used uh, the help of activity diagrams as well as low fidelity prototype models, wherein the requirements are shown through pictorial depiction, through flowcharts and everything, which has made us help ourselves understand and others also come on the same page, so that the communication flow doesn't break. And we used to have daily meetings with the core development team, and weekly meetings with the stakeholders. Likewise, we have kept everyone in page and also taken suggestions from them to make the project go in the right direction. Then, regarding resource management and time management, since all the resources are in house, there has been much resource management, resource burden. In time management also, since everything is in place like infrastructure, testing sample, as well as testing environment, uh, and observation of environment which the project is going to work. So we do not have much hurdles in that department as well. However, we do have hurdles in terms of bringing everyone in terms of ordering the flow of things. Likewise, whenever we are making a small change in business operation in a Roma application, small development in Roma application, that is impacting the server, which in turn is impacting the total business operations at stores. So impediments such as them, we have taken uh, you know we have informed them beforehand. We have given options like manual billing, etc. And we have managed it to avoid most of the situations where the outage is high. So the outage has not been frequent, and whenever it has come, it was low. Its impact has been low. And then we have got issues such as adaptability, as well as quick communication in terms of issues faced at the ground level. For that, we have created a link wherein the store manager immediately updates updates what kind of problem they are facing. He need not, log in, create a job sheet, and then speak with one of the executives. What do you say? Technical team executives such as that. Instead, he simply dumps the question or simply dumps the issue in the link, and we actively observe that link, and whenever we feel that the question is viable or the issue is it need to be resolved, immediately we call that store manager, and we take the full account of the issue, and from there we try to resolve it in the general terms for all the stores. So this is how we have approached to the conflict management. Sometimes it is ad hoc, sometimes it is pre-planned.
Okay. So how did you involve into your projects as requirement life cycles throughout the requirement life cycles? So can you explain through that requirement life cycle in your projects? How did you involve? How did you gather from the stakeholders? How did you communicate with the development team like this? The process of that requirement life cycle. Can you explain through that?
Yeah, yeah. How did I communicate it, right?
Yeah, through the requirement life cycle means from the starting of the project to that. How did you go through that requirements and that processing? How did you go through that throughout your project? No? So how did you conduct to that from the stakeholders the all those requirements regarding of that project like this? And how did you communicate with that development team as regarding of these requirements?
Yeah, yeah. So the requirement life cycle has got the following steps in order. It has got requirement elicitation. It got requirement analysis. Then it has got requirement validation and verification. It has got after validation and verification, then prioritization which requirement need to be given the highest priority, and then we have to use requirement traceability matrix to see how the requirements are being fared against the development, and if there are any change management requests, handling those change management requests. These are the various steps in requirement life cycle. The first step is elicitation of requirements, wherein we identify the requirements, and we try to communicate these requirements through various means. Likewise, I said the communicating of requirements is has been done through using uh, low fidelity prototyping as well as activity diagrams, so that the team can understand teams from various departments can understand the process flow very easily. That was the first step. After understanding what are the requirements, then with all these teams we have conducted focus group sessions, wherein we have discussed it deeply to understand each and every requirement at a deeper level, so that we would know what kind of what do you say impact those requirements would create, development of those requirements would create on the project. And then from there we have done requirement analysis, and from there we have done the uh, what I say, the business perspective of these requirements, how they are going to impact the business, what is the financial impact of that business, what is the operations impact of that business, and we have assessed and weighted the risks that are involved in processing those requirements or introducing those requirements, like compatibility issues, adaptability issues, as well as integration issues. So we have further created another set of requirements such a non-functional challenges. Then for each and every requirement we have to specify the boundary and a range of its performance, so that the requirements that we develop are working well within the constraints of the project. So once the goals and once the specifications have been discussed, we have created documents such as business requirement document, because by now the entire requirements have been properly developed, and they have been converted into functional non-functional requirements with their specific functions, as well as boundaries, as well as risks and opportunities mentioned. Then then we have validated and verified the importance of all of business requirement documents with each and every department, wherein department wherein how those requirements are validated against their business needs, whether they are covering all the business needs of that particular department, and wherever we felt unnecessary, have been either taken down or put at the last lane of the bucket or into the maintenance bucket. And wherever they are required, new requirements are required, we have again added into the business requirement document, and we have again done the requirement analysis as well as requirement specifications analysis, and we have given them a concrete shape, and we have joined them in the BRD. After that, we have done requirement prioritization, uh, using FERPs and Moscow. So using FERPs and Moscow, we are able to see which are the most functional, which are most usable, and which must have features in our project, and we have prioritized likewise. And then after that, we have created a requirement traceability matrix, and we have started to trace each and every requirement in terms of designing, development, testing, and deployment phases. And using this RTM board, we are also able to trace who is responsible and who is at what phase of that requirement. So this is how we have handled the requirement across the departments.
Okay. So as coming to your projects now, how did you involve into your projects as a PA? The contribution, nothing but from the starting of that stages to the ending of that stages, how did you involve into your projects as a PA? That is nothing but the contribution as PA contribution in your projects. Likewise, you can
Okay.
explain, go through them. Yeah.
Okay. So my responsibilities have been in various aspects. It's been starting from identifying the business needs, and defining and formulating the business cases from those business needs, stakeholder identification, and conducting various meetings between the stakeholders to prioritize the requirements, and and uh, uh, and creating the feasibility study for those requirements, and how I communicate through stakeholders, how verbally, the frequency of the communication, the formality levels of the communication, the various methodologies I used for communication, like for complex methodologies, I never used text. I always used only activity diagrams as well as flowcharts in order to make the people understand how the process is flowing. Then during the execution phase, whenever this is an agile project, and we always needs continuous testing of the resultant software. So while doing the search, we have been in constant touch with the store managers, how the project is how the working software is reacting and at what phase. And surely we have created the login phase, and we have asked whether it is getting login properly or not, which we have faced some issues in terms of creating OTP as well as password verification, which has been resolved first. And later on, after logging in, then uh, we have uploaded the entire website catalog into the software, and we have checked the non-functional requirements such as speed, robustness, and as well as the adaptability of the software of the server. And we have faced several issues in such, because the server was not able to cater to all the stores at the same time. So we have identified the server needs a little bit bandwidth to increase, so that the server can accommodate to the software. We also identify that the software is little bit heavy or little bit process taking in terms of uh, processing an order. Therefore, we have eased those issues by explaining with the development team from business perspective. So after that, after facing such issues, we have done I have done change management requirements, wherein changes required in terms of communicate, in terms of process flow, in terms of functional requirements, in terms of non-functional requirements. And these changes have been handled in the 10th, 9th month of the project, which is actually spanned across 12 months span. So we are comfortably able to handle the change requirements, since we have been constantly in touch with all the stakeholders at every times. Therefore, there is no hassle in terms of change management. So this is how I have contributed to the project.
Mhm. Okay. So how did you manage that stakeholders as regarding of change request, whatever it may be? So in the middle of that projects.
See, my stakeholders are mostly business based stakeholders, and our responsibility is to see throughout the project. Our responsibility is to ensure that there wouldn't be any server issues, and there wouldn't be any lag in development of the project. So for server issues, our major attention is to make development team understand that the project is that the software is becoming heavy on the server, and we need to fix them a little, so that the process flow would be linearly smooth across all the as what is this store locations. That is number one thing. So for this, whenever change is required, our number one priority is to address the impact of the store operations. Therefore, this has been always been our motto. Store operations should not be impacted. So once the software has been developed and properly made without any speed, then our prioritization check has been converted from store operations to product adaptability. So most of the associates, most of the store managers, most of the floor business associates were not either willing to participate in understanding the software, or it is too hard for them to understand the software. So we have conducted various training sessions through various modules, like mock modules, training modes in the software, etc. And we have brought them up to the speed, and from there onwards we have started to involve them by imparting KPIs, software based KPIs, like number of browsing sessions per day, number of logins per day, number of customer IDs created per day, number of products added per customer in cart, etc. And we have started to chase them, so that the store operations team would definitely follow, looking at the KPIs, because that will affect their performance down the line. So by that, they got adaptable tech issues. Whatever adaptable issues were there, that has been overcome. So time upon time, we have changed our prioritization from development towards operations, and from operations to development, and vice versa. And we were able to handle change requests properly.
Okay. So as coming to your projects now. So what type
Yeah.
of documents did you have created, like BRD, FRD, SRS, and
Yes, yes.
yeah.
So the first project document is obviously based on the enterprise analysis, and that is the business requirement document. The business requirement document we have covered. Likewise, I said we have, after doing a proper thorough requirement elicitation, requirement development, and requirement prioritization, requirement specification. Then only we are able to create the business requirement document stating what is the purpose, what are the outcome, and what is the impact on the business, and what needs to be done. In the end, we have jotted down all the requirements as use cases. This is the business requirement document. And then there is this functional requirement document, wherein each and every requirement has been elaborated properly, uh, in order to show its performance, its importance in the project, and why it is has been placed, and its requirement as well in terms of resources. That how we have created an FRD. And then it comes software requirement specifications, which is again created not by us, but we have provided a basic overview of the requirements, the important overview of the requirements for every, like, we inform the requirement to them, and they create the software requirements for software resources for those requirements. So this is purely technical, which, as a functional BA from business side, we are not into it. But however, we were given a document wherein we can go through and we can understand where the business development phase was. And then there was this use case document wherein all the users to all functional requirements and non-functional requirements were converted into use case, and we have started, and the user stories, and these user stories combined together, we have generated a use case document. And all the process flow documents, like activity diagrams, sequential diagrams, mostly activity diagrams and sequential diagrams, because all our communications is only done with respect to the process that has been followed. Then we have also used, small documents like requirement traceability matrix, RACI matrix, and a Moscow document, etc., in order to prioritize the requirement, identify the roles and responsibility of stakeholders, etc. So these are the few of the most of the documents which we have created during our project.
Okay, okay. So as coming to this, JIRA tool is meant for the Agile project, as the Agile method. So as coming of creation, whatever it may be, your stories, right? So throughout your project, how did you use this JIRA tool, and what type of user stories did you create throughout that project? Like this, can
Uh,
you do the thing?
Yadagiri, I'm not so strong in Jira. I have to prepare it well.
Okay. So as come to this JIRA now,
Yeah.
as a
Yadagiri,
BA,
can you help me in one thing? Can you send me these all these interview based questions in WhatsApp, so that I can prepare well again and again?
sorry.
If you can send me these after the session in WhatsApp, it will be very much helpful for me.
Yeah, what we are asking in these meetings, like was the questions are it's interview based questions, nothing but as basing on your process or maybe you are facing that
Okay.
questions like this, right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's mostly that has come to the agile methodology. The Jira tool are also main important in our projects. Like we just go through that projects. How did you use
Yeah,
that
sure.
Jira tools, and what type of your stories? The mainly purpose of your Jira tool is to create your stories throughout that projects as regarding of that features. What we are going to create that features. So we need to create user stories for that particular features, na? So to
Yeah.
understanding purpose of to that development team, whatever it may be. So what type of parts are in that user stories, like with the functionality of features we need to understand to that development team, whatever that development is, understanding of that particular features functionality, how it will be goes on. So what the end users looks like, or the functionality is coming up. Likewise, we need to use that JIRA tool throughout the project, creating of that
Okay.
product backlogs and sprint backlogs. Likewise,
Okay.
how much work will be completed. Likewise, we draw the diagrams, product burn down, product burn up charts, and a sprint burn down, sprint burn up charts. Likewise,
Okay.
no? So did you
Okay.
have idea regarding this product burn down and like product backlog and
Yeah,
sprint
yeah, yeah.
backlog? What are they
Yeah, yeah.
likewise?
Yeah, I have. I have.
Mm.
So, product abandon and sprint burn down chart. So, there are two types of charts. There's the burn up chart and the burn down chart. The burn down chart would identify the number of user stories or the number of work that is yet to be done. Whereas the product burn up chart would only explain how much has been done. However, since we are more focused on remaining tasks at hand rather than the completed tasks, we usually give prioritization to product burn down chart only. So the burn down chart consists of consists of various user stories which are again divided into tasks and complexity points, and these have so there are two types of burn down charts. There is product burn down chart and sprint burn down chart. The product burn down chart is is uh, is considered to be depicting the entire user stories in the product backlog, whereas the sprint burn-down chart is related only to that sprint, to how many backlog items you have taken in that sprint backlog. So using this we can identify what are the tasks at hand. If the and there will be two lines that will be identifying that would be depicting on the product burn down chart or the sprint burn down chart. One line showing the expected flow, expected progress of use cases or user stories, whereas the other one shows the actual flow completion status of the same user stories. So if the product bundle chart is faster than the user, the actual assessment, then you can observe that that the line is hovering over the expected uh, what do you say, expected I got two calls in the middle, so I broke my flow. So this is how a project burn down chart or a sprint burn down chart can be utilized. This we can either depict it through Jira, or we can also use Excel and develop our own product burn down charts.
So simply you can say that as coming to this product bundle chart and the sprint bundle chart, the
Uh,
as coming to this product bundle chart is throughout the project, how much work will be completed so far now.
yeah,
And as coming to the sprint bundle chart, throughout the sprint, that is not nothing but time spirit, right?
yeah, yeah,
A time frame. So in the time
yeah.
frame, particular time frame, how much work will be completed so far now?
Yes, yes.
Throughout the sprint only, not throughout that
Okay,
particular. Likewise,
okay.
it will be divided. As come to the sprint, how it will be divided from the product backlog by basing on that which values, how it will be divided. Likewise, can you go through that? So did you have idea regarding that separation of features into the sprint backlog likewise?
So you want me to explain how the sprint backlogs are created?
Yeah.
Acha, okay, right. So the sprint backlogs are great. See, first thing, the entire product, development phase is divided into sprints, which consists of 2 to 4 weeks of time span. So, Likewise, the backlog items are selected from the product to backlog. So the first ever sprint in the sprint meeting or first ever sprint we conduct is sprint zero, wherein we define how we are going to go how we are going to handle the development of the project, and how we are going to what do you say? Excuse me. Yeah, how we are going to go ahead in the project. So that would be our sprint zero that's how we are going to do the sprint zero session. Then comes the sprints, wherein we impart various requirements from user stories from the product backlog by using various prioritization techniques, and we try to complete them at the earliest possible sprints, like sprint 1 and sprint 2 itself. So once we do the sprint, we start the sprint backlog. We design the sprint backlog. Then we start with every meetings, like daily stand-up meetings, as well as at the end of the each and every sprint, we do a sprint review with the other stakeholders and do a sprint retrospective with our own agile team. So what went wrong, what could be done better, and what are the previous sprints backlog items that are continuing to this sprint. So that's how we conduct using sprints by creating sprint backlog items, and we ensure that the project is completed within those certain sprint numbers.
Okay. So as coming to this sprint backlog is nothing but the separation of some user stories from the product backlog by basing on that
Yes.
requirement of that so as much as needed of that basing on that uh,
Yes.
a fast requirement of that is stakeholders management also by basing on
Yes,
that
yes, yes. Whichever requirement needs to be done first, you are given first priority, and
first priority.
involved in the sprint. Not only that, there are some requirements which need to be completed before we go to other activities. Like first of all, we have to complete basic structure like logging credentials, as well as development of the catalog. Once we do, these are the two major factors for any project which we do, which are related to any customer software based system. So
Yeah,
once this is done, then we can add other requirements in the later phases, like security requirement, non-functional requirements like security requirements, functional requirements like adding to cart, checkout procedure, adding customer address, etc., etc.
yeah,
So we can prioritize the requirement by two bases, by their functional importance, as well as the by the order flow of the requirements.
yeah. So as coming to this any application, so first of all, features are nothing but the login, registration, and features of that. These are the main things for as coming to this any application.
Yes.
So as regarding this, basing on
Yes.
that functionality of that business. So by basing on that, what they are needed first of all, like this, basing on that requirement, we need to develop that features first of all. As going to this, the development team will give the CP points. That is nothing but complexity points. Basing on
Complexity
that,
points. Yes.
we will prioritize that values into the refinement by basing. So go through that
That's it.
refinement process, refinement
That's it.
prioritization validation. So after
That's right.
that, we will separate that features into the sprint backlog. The
Yes.
sprint backlog is nothing but time frame. In that particular
Yes.
time frame, we need to develop that all the features what you have
Either 2 weeks or 4 weeks.
4 weeks, whatever. Basing on that
Yes.
time frame of that sprint and the number of that user stories in that sprint. So what
Okay.
time it will be decided to complete that particular sprint. Basing on that, it will be developed, and that complexity points it's given by the development team, right? So whatever the
Yes.
purpose of that, they are to develop that features, particular features, so they know how much it how much time it will be developed, that possible time. So
Yes.
that's why they will give that complexity points and they will going to separate that features likewise and they will develop that. So it's nothing but particular time frame. So that's sprint.
Yes.
So this is like so okay. Okay, Venkatesh. Thank you for your participation in this mock panel interview and for your efforts.
How was the
Yeah.
improvement?
Mm,
Was it good?
good,
Yeah,
good
was my
Venkatesh. Good,
explanation was good? Is it enough?
good Venkatesh. As going to the explanation and the order flowing. So it's good. And as coming to this justification on that projects also good and try to
Yes.
improve more as regarding of
Yes,
the
sure.
JIRA tools, whatever it may be. The
Sure,
technical
sure.
tools also more important regarding of that, which cases in which scenarios do you have used this particular tools, nothing but technical skills likewise. So you need to understand whatever that JIRA tools.
Will do
JIRA
it.
tools are main important for that agile and whatever that by creating of that user stories, whatever it may be, like this,
Sure,
right?
sure.
So
Yeah.
throughout the
And there
whole
is one
yeah,
more thing. Nobody have contacted from HR department yet.
yeah, we'll discuss the later
It's been a
completion of
week,
the
right?
we'll discuss later this completion of the session. Okay.
After this session.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine, fine. So because tomorrow is Monday, I hope that you can you know communicate the same.
Yeah.
Yesterday I got the certificate. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I got the certificate, but since I got the certificate, the only thing I'm left over with is BGM support.
Venkatesh, okay. We'll come back to you, okay, for this session is ending, okay? That's fine.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Venkatesh. We'll get back to you, okay? Thank
By what time? Because I think you will be handling another student.
you.
So when
Yeah.
can I expect another call from you?
I'll get back to I'll let you know.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Bye, Venkatesh. Thank you.
Bye, bye.